So now we'll get into the eligibility requirements. In order to be considered a First Forward institution, in order to be eligible for consideration, you must be a 2 or 4-year accredited institution. You must also be a NASPA institutional member, and the primary contact who's most closely aligned with first gen efforts at your institution and who would also be most closely aligned with all things First Forward, they must be a professional member through NASPA. We're going to go through some steps of how you determine this information in just a moment. We request that you have the support of senior leadership. This is particularly important when we think about scaling existing approaches. It is also important as we think about the unique professional development opportunities that we offer through First Forward. One in particular that Sarah's going to talk about is the First Forward workshop ahead of the First Generation Student Success Conference. So this would require travel, and oftentimes that requires additional support from leadership. Important to keep that in the back of your mind, as well as designate a minimum of 2 faculty or staff who serve as representatives for your institution to First Forward. You can certainly have more than 2. It is really nice to have more than 1. We all know that there are busy times throughout the year, and having more than 1 individual involved in the conversation, able to spread the workload as well, will be pretty important. And then finally, a commitment to fulfilling the requirements that are outlined in the requirements of participation. So how to determine your NASPA institutional membership and your professional membership. If you do not know whether or not your institution is a institutional member, we recommend that you get in touch with a senior leader from your institution, possibly the vice president for student affairs, maybe someone in the provost office. They'd be able to help let you know whether or not you are an institutional member. If you still are unsure, feel free to email us at firstforward@naspa.org. We'd be more than happy to look at that information for you. These steps here are specific to determining your professional NASPA membership. And so you would not log into the new NASPA.org. Hopefully some of you all have been over to the new NASPA.org website, but just some updated steps on how to get logged in. So you would visit NASPA.org and click the login button that's found in the top band across the website. You'd use your NASPA login credentials, which are credentials that you've created. And then you'd click the My NASPA found at the top of the bar, which it replaces the login icon. You then select to edit your profile. And then from there, you would see this personal snapshot. And this personal snapshot is found on this left side of the menu. There you'd be able to determine your NASPA ID, and this is a default account, so none of this information is actually true. And then if you scroll down on your end, you'd be in the personal snapshot. You would be able to then see your member through date. And so this is important because this is all information we request from you in the application. These steps are included in the application, and so we know that there are a number of steps here to cover, so we included them in the application for future reference. Again, since this is recorded, we'll have this segment available for future reference.